What's up, guys? Welcome to DankShrine. Who the hell is this? I'm Duddles. I'm joined by nice username. I know the title on this stream currently says episode 5. Air it, but this is actually a nice username, episode 6. Totally the wrong title. But we have a great episode today. I'm really excited to have this guy. If you don't know him, you should at very least follow him on Twitter. At the very least, because he has the best tweets, I think, in all of Starcraft, period, hands down. We'll get into that in a minute. But what's going on, man? How are you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you so much for doing this. I am always eager to talk about myself. So yeah, I'm good, man.
Good. I'm glad to be able to scratch that ego a little bit. So I just want to, I know a little bit about you, but some people may not. Some people may know more than I do about you who are already in this channel watching, or on YouTube or wherever they're watching it. But so who are you? What do you do in StarCraft? Very, very broad. Let's just kind of cover it very broad. I don't want to knock out the entire interview.
Yeah, okay. It's a bit of a story. So I mean, I've been around since 2002, 2003. I was playing Brood War, and I really like making maps in Brood War. But no real success there. Just what I like to do. And then SE2 rolls around, and I got really into the esports scene. How could you not? The game really pushes people in that direction just by the design of the game. So got really into that. And then around 2013, I built a computer. And building a computer changed my life, really, because then I could do video editing, and I could start getting into content creation, which is what I've always liked. I liked making maps in Brood War. I like making maps in SE2. Nothing very good, but it's what I like, man. So I don't know. Like one day, I posted something really stupid about something that happened on JP's talk show. I forget the name of it. I want to say State of the Game. That sounds wrong though. Whatever it was like this final episode, and Day9 did something funny, and I made a GIF and put it on Reddit, and I was like, a lot of people were responding to this. It kind of blew me away. So one thing leads to another, and I got into, more obsessed with content creation. I worked for YouTube channel SC2HL, which is approaching about 100,000 subs now, and I worked for them for 2.5 years, just posting game highlights. It's hard to think of everything, but I've really worked with, like, if you can think of some StarCraft personality, there's a good chance they hit me up for some work. I'm working with Pig lately. I've done stuff for In Control for the Pylon show more recently. I'm trying to think of stuff like way back. I did a lot of stuff for Chanvi. I did a lot of stuff for Base Trade. For Base Trade, I was a YouTube manager for like over a year.
Right.
So like, I have done a ton of behind the scenes work and sort of built up a bit of a brand for myself, I guess. I have like some stuff on my channel, that, for fun, but I'm kind of just everywhere, man. And what I really like is a map editor. I really like video editing, and of course, I'm a big fan of the esports scene.
Right on. I'm a huge fan. I brought this up already, but your Twitter is just absolutely hilarious. Which I'm already going to show an example right now. Just this kind of stuff you can get from here. But like, I even brought it up in my Reddit post. Like, how many banelings does it take to kill a battle cruiser? Because I think somebody asked you maybe.
It was on the Pylon show. It's some meme from the Pylon show.
Oh yeah, that's so good. So funny, and the fact it's like instantly you're able here it is, guys.
Right.
So
right.
Things like this have always been fantastic. So
Thanks,
that alone, I mean, that was, I think, honestly, I knew who you were, but I think that tweet right there was always just like, this is my favorite person in the world who just said this. But yeah, so I kind of want to talk a little bit about the base trade thing. I almost completely forgot about that. If you don't mind, I don't want to bring up any drama or anything, but
Go ahead.
But I mean, it is an interview. So what happened with there? I know that you were a big name for him. You were doing a lot of his content. I feel like it was kind of an abrupt, just like you weren't the YouTuber anymore.
This is a bit of a story too, and we're on pretty good terms, me and Rifkin. No bad blood or anything. He wants some work for me this weekend.
Okay.
But what happened is, the bottom line is, the channel stopped being eligible for monetization. I don't really want to get into why. It has nothing to do with me. It's sort of some stuff on Rifkin's side, but because of what happened, the channel can't make any money, and Rifkin started paying me out of his own pocket just to continue consistency and uploading the channel. You know, Base Trade really wants to build the YouTube presence, and they still do. They went and made a Base Trade TV 2 channel, if you haven't noticed, to try and get some money, and it wasn't great because we sort of just felt like we were banned and screwed, because you know what it's like trying to get a hold of anyone at YouTube. It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So what happened is he was paying me out of pocket, but like I wasn't happy with the way things were going, and I just, you know, it wasn't great on my part, but I just kind of slowly stopped. And then Rifkin hits me up like, "Hey man, like what's going on?" And I was kind of back and forth, and I kept being consistent.
You're kind of roboting out here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It was just
here,
one sentence. That's all that happened.
I just realized my phone's in my pocket, and that shouldn't be there if it's going to be the thing helping me do this call. So are we sounding a bit better now?
Oh, yeah, completely.
Great, thanks. That was my bad. So, so things, you know, there was some drama, and I would rather not say what happened because it's not good what happened.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get into it. Me and Rifkin still probably don't completely agree on the whole thing. But, you know, it's in the past. He's got someone else. I'm moving on to other things. So be it. I don't know if you wanted to pivot over here, but it's sort of, I'm reminded of the SC2HL channel and the Base Trade channel were the two that I really dumped a lot of time into. I wrote scripts for the Base Trade channel to automatically generate the thumbnails. Like, I really took it very seriously, and when I stopped being eligible to get money from it, it kind of just took the wind out of the sails, and that was kind of it for Base Trade.
Yeah, that's kind of, I mean, that's crushing for even, you know, the audience and I'm sure the YouTube fans, the Base Trade YouTube fans, which is
we went from about 7K to maybe 15K subscribers over a year or two, and I heard sponsors were not happy with the numbers and stuff, and it just never really worked out. It's kind of sad. So I wish it wasn't that way, but that's what happened. Again, we're on good terms, so like no bad blood, but it didn't go well for, I think, either of us. And I think, I hope he's happy with who he's working with now.
Good. Well, I'm happy there's water under the bridge, and you guys are good, because like, y'all are two huge people in the community, and that's not the kind of riff, if you will, that people would want to see. I've been watching too much Base Trade lately. Okay. All right. So I kind of want to talk about your own channel, your YouTube channel. I mean, you have a show. You used to have the show. You used to do the thing. You know, like what it looks like versus how it feels. And then, you know, right now you've been doing it for longer than I've been doing DankShrine. You've had the Incoming Transmission series where you do interviews, and you interview really some just not just high profile people, but people who are a little behind the scenes, doing, you know, like a really, really good job of that.
Man, the amount of people behind the scenes putting in work, there's so many, and they're putting in some serious work, man. So yeah, I really like to talk to people who maybe don't get as much of a spotlight as maybe I feel they deserve. So yeah.
One that I saw recently, you know, it wasn't just, I mean, there are times where, you know, I do these interviews, I have to go do research and stuff like that. But whenever I looked at your channel again, I was like, how did I miss some of these interviews? These are people who that's why I do this show, is I want to hear about these kind of things. So I think, sorry if I mispronounced her name. I think Olimoli, right? Is that how you pronounce her name?
I like to say Olimoli. I don't really know the official. I feel like there's no way to do it correct.
Right.
To be honest.
Olimoli sounds like a real name. Olimoli sounds like holy moly, but with a twist. You know,
that's not it. But it's definitely not.
It's not Olimoli. That's okay. Well, that's good that
everything about that. Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, so she's a huge, you know, she's so impactful on the Starcraft community, and to have, you know, that interview itself is just phenomenal that she's getting some recognition.
She's extremely important.
Yeah. So I mean, God, if you haven't watched this series yet, these are the real, like, stop. Just, I mean, we'll continue watching this one because it's a nice username. You should hear this guy out. But as soon as you're done with this, go subscribe to Nice Username on YouTube, and go watch these interviews, because they're really, really well done. Much better than what I do. Stop. That's he's setting the bar, and I just pretty much just drink at the bar. So
I think the interviews, if you want my opinion, I had fun designing the overlay, and when I first put them out, I got 100 comments like, "Dang, that overlay, woo, that's a great overlay." And then the comments about the actual conversation are a little more mixed.
Mm-hmm.
And in general, when I look at my channel and I see the viewership for the meme videos, the Artosis video, the how it looks, how it feels, and then you put that next to all the interviews, I honestly think it makes my channel look kind of bad. So I'm in a strange place right now where like I like doing the interviews and I like putting them out, but I feel like putting out a series of videos with such awful viewership and like I've sort of pivoted away from stuff that did bring viewership. I feel a little strange right now. I think I might break it off into a second channel or something.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? Because, looking through a channel and seeing a bunch of videos with over 10K viewership, which was usually where I would sit, and then I'm getting like 400, right. 500. It just doesn't look good. If I'm trying to sell, if I want to show someone my channel and impress them,
mm-hmm.
It doesn't look good. As much as I love talking to these people, and like, there's so many other reasons, long form content, blah 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 blah. Like I get it. I don't expect 10,000 views on this. It's just reality, and so that's kind of where my head's at lately. And the interviews are good, but some of them are better than others.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the thing about when you're talking about video games in general and esports, you're not gonna always have these huge personalities that are gonna, they may work wonders behind the scenes and they could actually be great players, especially the player base. But when it comes to sitting down and talking to them on person to person, they may just be like, yeah.
I want to say, I gotta shout out some of these high profile people like Artosis and Control, some of the people who've been here forever and have the biggest audience, or following or whatever. Those guys are so nice and so approachable, and I just shout out to them for basically giving an indie person like me their time and a shot to sort of build something up, because without them I wouldn't be able to build up a show. So just we got a great scene, dude, full of great people, and that's really why I wanted to make that show, is to show off just how cool and just how big our scene is.
Yeah, and I obviously I agree with that 100% in every way. I'm passionate about it personally, and I'm really happy to see someone with your caliber being able to do that for people. So where do you think if you were to continue this YouTube video, is there anything next? Is there anything that you'd be willing to kind of give me to show off, or
in terms of putting stuff on my YouTube channel?
Yeah. Like, what do you have, like a new video concept series idea?
Oh yeah. I've been working on something very hard.
Okay.
And it's more back to what I think I'm good at, which is satire and comedy. So I made I don't know if you've seen, if you go to my channel, you'll watch a video. There's a video called it's a Protoss in 2018. Got a lot of colors and like strobe lights and just like sort of over the top effects. And a lot of these effects are made possible using the map editor, which no one really uses. So I think using the map editor to make visual effects in videos is really my strong suit, and I think the thing that sets my stuff apart from everyone else. So yeah, I'm very, very looking forward to uploading this video, because it's all about TVP whining and people whining about Protoss. And it's all about people hating on In Control, and just like everything that can be memed on, I'm trying to fit in this video. And the problem with putting so much time into one video, and it's going to be like a minute and a half or 2 minutes, is I've put it weeks and weeks in, and like it could just bomb.
Right.
And like, what a waste of time that was. And even if you start to get expectations, and it's not smart to do that. It does not matter how much effort you put into a video. It doesn't make it good.
Right.
So but the bottom line is I've been working full time this year. I moved recently. I've had a very busy year, but I have not stopped thinking about producing content. I think about it every single day of my life. It's still what I like to do. Every day I'm reading Reddit and Twitter and watching Twitter. Like nothing has changed except for my personal life and the amount of time I have to spend making these videos. And honestly, it makes me sad. It makes me sad that I could not commit more to this. But again, who knows? Maybe at some point I'll actually do a Patreon. So this guy's always pushing me to do it, and maybe I'll try and take it more seriously. But for now, I'm just taking it. I'm doing as much as I can with the schedule I have, and I am very excited about the things I'm putting out. Not just video related, but I'm working on some arcade games.
Oh, right on. So I think I saw a while back you did it was like it's kind of like a micro training arcade.
The Oracle one?
Yeah, is that well, it actually had it was like almost like a Blink Stalker hopscotch thing going on with Widow Mines and stuff. This is a while back. I think that was you. Am I wrong? I know Maybe. It was on your Twitter. God, this was like
that was some meme about like players dodging something, and it was a stalker with no blink on cooldown dodging like 50 mines at once. It was a funny analogy.
Oh, I misunderstood it. I thought it was like actually like an arcade. People would go just like, hey,
no,
just practice.
it was like people dodging Zerg players on the ladder or something, and it's a stalker just like blinking everywhere. I thought it was funny. People thought it was funny, and that's the kind of thing I think that I'm best at. Even though I've sort of veered off onto this, I try to do interviews, and I try to do. To be honest, man, I thought the interview thing would be good because it's easy to do. The other things I'm doing are not so easy, and being able to be consistent is so important. Trying to build something up, build some kind of brand, and I love working behind the scenes and stuff. But at the same time, I really have tried to build something for myself, for me, and for a long time I didn't even want to put my face out on the internet. I don't know. Things change as time goes on. I think I've had some success too. Like I have been contracted by Blizzard to make videos, which is about as good as it gets. That's basically the holy grail of a validation. Right. Blizzard wants your content, but I don't know, man. I don't even know how to answer or end this really, but I'm always thinking about what I want to make next every day.
Right. So with your like how much time you spent in the map editor, which I've literally never seen anybody do anything close to what you do in there. It's very unique.
I'm just okay. If you hang out in the map editor Discord and you talk to some of these guys, people are quite good. Have you played Arcstar?
I have not. Arcstar, I'm going to write that down.
Check out Arcstar. It's one of the paid arcade games, and there's a reason it's paid. It's because it's fucking amazing.
Right, and I see the guy who's making like the Diablo 2 remake, and I watch that guy stream it and stuff, and I'm just like, how... I played with the map editor and Warcraft 3 and Brood War a lot, and it's just gotten so much more than what it used to be. But whenever I said that, I mean specifically like with just having like the pylons moving around and having like 15 of them, all having the photon overcharge and everything. It's just I've just never seen it showcased in such a way, the way that you do it.
There's so much potential, dude. If more people could get into the editor, and I get it. The editor is just it's ugly and it's not easy, but I think if more people were using it for content creation, dude, we would have a whole different landscape, in my opinion. But game's like 10 years old, dude. It's a little too late for that.
Yeah. Well, unless they make another one, but we'll see.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. So I know you talked about kind of like the, like it's almost not maybe capstone's a wrong word, but just the holy grail with having Blizzard wanting to use your content. And I know this is probably a sore subject. I think even somebody mentioned to me whenever I was kind of bragging, I was like, guys, I'm about to interview Nice Username. They're talking about it's like, yeah, dude, I think he's the most underrated person in all Starcraft, and I'm sure he's sick of hearing it. So I don't want to bring up anything that's like negative. But
go ahead, dude. Go ahead.
But I mean, like, God, why are you not working at Starcraft? Like, why are you not working at Blizzard with what you can do?
I think the truth is that I'm really not that good. I don't know. I applied. I was rejected for good reason, I think. Sorry, my screensaver just turned on. Anyway, um, the people, I've met a lot of the staff there, and they're quite good. There was a person hired out of the map making community. His name is Ryan Shooter, and he is the game guy who made Game Heart.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't answer that question, dude. The SC2 team is very small, and I feel like the game's on maintenance mode. The time to try and work like really seriously apply to Blizzard would have been in 2010, 2011.
Right.
And I didn't, like I said, I didn't really get in the content creation thing until 2013 because I was using a goddamn MacBook. In 2009, when I went to college and got a MacBook, what a fuck. Can I curse on here? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
it was the worst decision I could have made in terms of buying PC hardware. Sure, it's sleek, whatever, nice, Apple shit, whatever. Everyone at college has one. You can't really make videos. There was no hardware encoder to record anything in OBS. I set myself back several years in the game by buying a MacBook, and when I finally built a PC, everything changed. I have a lot of regret, actually, over not getting into this earlier, because I think I'm decent. I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah, I think the whole community that knows you thinks that you're more than decent.
I think I'm alright.
Well, I mean, as long as you keep, what is it? So whenever you're your biggest critic like that, that's good. We want you to do that because then you'll keep on putting out great content because you keep on pushing yourself. So I'm happy to hear that you don't think that you're the best because you are fantastic, and we all know it. And it's yeah, we're really happy to have you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. So do you like? So let's say hypothetically they come out with a Starcraft 3, or even Warcraft 4, and they need somebody who has this experience. Are you like refreshing their job page just in case?
No,
yeah,
I'm not. So I've come to find this is obviously a very blanket statement, and it's not true for a lot of things. But the gaming industry is brutal. It is a brutal industry to work in. It's kind of gross. I'm not talking specifically Blizzard. Everyone I met at Blizzard is fucking amazing, and I love every person I've ever met there. But in general, game developers are paid less than they're more replaceable, etc., etc., etc. I did study computer science in school. That I want to do programming, and I already do web development. I consider myself an okay web developer. My skills are a bit dated, but I can do it. So that's really what I want to like take that direction. Blizzard was, of course, for many years of my life the dream job. But as I got older and I met Blizzard staff, and I not just Blizzard staff, but like I read these articles about the game industry and like in the crunch and stuff. It just seems crazy, man. And again, I'm not knocking Blizzard because they're almost like the exception to the rule in the sense that I love everyone there and I love their game so much that I would probably be okay with more difficult working conditions than say programming for a bank or programming for a government position. It's a very hard choice.
Yeah.
When you want to pursue a career doing development, there's so much out there.
Yeah, I promise you, it's hard for anybody else listening right now. But like whenever I was in, because I did the same thing for computer science. Whenever you look for a development, I originally went for video game development, and whenever I actually started meeting people, and I think very similarly, but probably maybe different. I was way more bummed out. I met like the highest caliber guy in the world. I've known actually since forever. We were in the school program together. He got hired straight from college. We were in community college, and he got hired out to go work for BioWare, making that Star Wars MMO. So he was like a designer there. But this guy was like a savant, And so to see me as someone who was like a script kiddie almost versus this guy, I was like, I'm not gonna cut it. And then also he had to move, and he, I know that he probably wasn't getting a very good salary at first either. So I was like, why don't I just push this somewhere else? And now I'm writing code for like like people who sell pipes. It's not
That's
interesting.
awesome.
I mean, it's a career.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't know. It's hard to get yourself to where you have to put yourself in that, like, the cutting edge. You have to be literally the most cutting edge developer in the video game industry, because you're coming out, you're writing engines, you're doing huge things. Your level design has to be immaculate, and your pay scale is going to match, like a web application developer who, as you said, like, works at a bank. And maybe that's if you're good.
Again, I don't want to knock it too much. I just, to answer your question, like, am I pursuing something in game development lately? I'm less enthusiastic about finding something in game development. Mm-hmm. But I am making a game in terms of, it's technically a Starcraft 2 mod, but the lines get blurry.
Yeah. Well, God, I can't wait. I cannot wait for that reveal.
It's just a micro tournament map. I posted about it. Have you played the micro tournament map?
Oh, okay. Was it okay? Then I have before. Yeah. Then I have seen that. Never mind. I thought you were. And
it's not like, it's not the most groundbreaking, amazing thing in the world. It's just the other ones are old, and we could use a new one. And I think I can do a damn good job. So far it's going good, and I really, really, really want to get it out within the next, I don't know, 4 to 8 weeks. But we've been working on it for much longer than that.
Right.
It's not just me either. I'm working with Beastie QT. I'm sure you know who he is. He's a random Grandmaster player, pro gamer, full timer.
I think he's the guy who discovered Max Packs, right? It's just that's what.
Yeah, he played against Max Packs, and he's like, holy shit, what is this? And he made a YouTube video. Parting saw the YouTube video, used it in GSL, and now it's this huge meme.
Yeah.
Good story though. I like that story. Max Packs is sick as fuck, man.
Honestly, that was a breath of fresh air into the community of just like something new and just like, oh man, we still have this hilarious new stuff coming in a 10-year-old game.
It just goes to show, man. It only takes one person to sort of show something to the rest of the community, and it can be used in GSL, dude.
Right. And
it only takes one person.
Isn't it so funny how much this community freaks out about, like, because that build isn't really that wild, it's you just proxy your first.
It's just proxy gate. People have been proxy gating since Brood War.
Right, but it's what you do behind it, and it's like in the current meta is all it took. If you did it like even 3 months ago, it may not have made any sense. But it was just hilarious how this community can just take something like that and make it such. I know Protoss players who cannot play games against Terran without being like, you better not do Max Packs. Like, they start the game. It's just such a.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's just such a big meme, dude. It's so good.
It is a meme. That's funny as well.
Actually, our GM, my team played a VTL match, I think, last night, and our GM player did a Max Packs against the guy. Didn't work, but it was still really a lot of fun to watch.
That's amazing.
All right, so I kind of want to go back into your past for a second, for anybody who doesn't, watching the YouTube video. I'm sure everybody in this channel knows you, at least, or has heard of you. But I just want to show your YouTube off really quick. This old video. We talked about it somewhat recently, a couple days ago. Let me pull it up. Okay, so the how it looks versus what it looks like versus how it feels. So let me show you guys this. My favorite one. I think it was your favorite one as well. All right. It's being played on right now. All right, so I just have to show that up, guys. It's
fun. What number episode was that?
That was number 5.
Oh yeah, that's probably the best one.
Yeah, the Zergling Reaper jump and everything. It was just that one I showed. It was so good.
Yeah, that one's good because you don't really see it coming. You're like, oh, they're gonna break the force fields, big deal, and then they hop the wall.
Yeah, it's so good. It's subtle. Yeah. Would you ever consider doing those again? Those look like they have a ton.
I'd love to, man. I'd love to. Yeah, it's hard work. I don't have a good reason for being so inconsistent, really. It's kind of like, it's another regret, I guess. I don't feel like I don't know how to really phrase this, but like, I don't know. I don't have a good reason for not making them more. It's just hard to make, and like I don't feel. This is gonna sound a little strange because they have a good viewership and stuff, but in a way, I don't feel like people care that much. Which is my primary motivation. I think for a lot of things is like, will people like this, or like, will people think it's funny, or stuff? And I know that sounds dumb because they do pretty well, but I don't know. That's just I just get in silly mindsets like that, and I kind of have to talk myself out of it.
How long did it take you to make that one Artosis video where he was like, Starcraft is my favorite game, then just like the trail of
I think that was 2 days.
2 days?
Yeah. Well, obviously I watch his stream all the time because it's fucking amazing. Yeah. His stream is so good. If you're not watching Artosis' stream, you are missing out. I'm just gonna tell you that. And like, dude, it's so funny when you put them next to each other. Like, just think about it, all the times he talks about how good Starcraft is, and then you watch him stream, and it's just so fucking funny, man. I love Artosis, and I love his stream, and I love his casting, but like when you put them next to each other, it's just too. And yeah, that was just fun to make. I got a bunch more Artosis clips saved, and I think I will be using them in the near future.
Can't wait. Yeah, it's really, oh my god, watching him just, I feel like I've never watched him play a Zerg on stream. It's always against a Protoss player. And I feel it's the same guy every time. He's like, oh, you're just going to make a bunch of Dragoons, you cheesy piece of, oh my god, oh, you fucking, and he gets so mad.
He's called Gateway Man. He plays versus Gateway Man quite a bit.
Okay. Is that, God, I do not know.
That's what he calls him.
Okay.
That's what he calls him. Dude, the amount of Brood War, I made so many friends in the Brood War community after that video. I did not expect that. After that video, like, a lot of people from the Brood War community were just loving it. And like, I just made a bunch of friends. It was awesome. The Brood War people are awesome. The communities are so, they don't talk to each other. So, like, they're very separated. And I think it kind of sucks, but, you know, whatever. And but yeah, man, you hang out in the Brood War server. It's Discord server. It's called Foreign Brood War. There's a few others. I don't check them out as much. And in general, Foreign Brood War is known for doing some pretty awful, terrible things I don't want to get into, so they're not saints. But the Brood War community is a community worth checking out if you like the Brood War,
right?
For sure.
I'd hope so. You know, these people have been sticking around for 20 years. They better be at least, I mean, some of them have to like each other and be at least somewhat fun to be around, you know?
They're great, man. I love them.
So, I think we already talked about. Sorry, let me clear some of my queue for these questions really quick. This has been great.
Yeah, do anything you need, man. Sorry, I keep looking down. It's because I had to use my laptop for this. I'm trying to look more.
Dude, you're
straight
great.
ahead. Had some tech issues earlier.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Anybody who was waiting, I think Coast was in here for a while, but. Darius says my experience with Brood War people is slightly different. I don't even want to. I mean, actually, I'd love to know, but that'll be for another time.
You need a thick skin. I find them to be much more. I don't want to say abrasive, but they're just more like. They're jokers, man. Everything sucks. Everyone's shit when you talk to they're just a bunch of. I feel like it's an older crowd, and they just love to banter. It's all about the banter in the Brood War server. And yeah, they can actually be really, really rude. I kind of reference that, but you know what? So can people in SC too.
Oh yeah, I don't know. So what's your main race? What do you play? What's your play style in StarCraft 2?
I mean, it's kind of changed. I pre-ordered Wings of Liberty on release. Like I said, I was playing Brood War, obsessed with Brood War, obsessed. My parents hated how much I played Brood War. Can you repeat the question? I started to think about some other stuff.
No, it's okay. You got, yeah, by all means. So what race do you play in StarCraft 2?
Okay, yeah, thank you. Sorry. So I play. I started playing Protoss for many years in Wings and from a lot of HOTS. And somewhere towards the middle to end of HOTS, I just got bored. I started playing Terran, and I was like, "This is fun, dude. This is so much fucking fun. I like playing Terran more, but I win more with Protoss." For some reason, like I started out bronze. I didn't know what the hell. I didn't know how to play RTS games. StarCraft 2. I played Brood War religiously, but it was UMS, it was Towerdy, it was Comp Stomp, I made maps, I made UMS. I really blame Brood War for getting me into computer science because the map editor is sort of a very primitive version of scripting.
Mm-hmm.
And I just loved it so much, dude. But I play Terran and I play Protoss at about 4,400. I got Masters once or twice, but I usually stick to High Diamond. I'm not Masters right now.
Okay. Do you cheese at all, or are you like a macro?
Oh, do I cheese? I the first time I ever got mastered, I had 3 very clean all-ins.
Mm-hmm.
Very clean. And this was Heart of the Swarm. The first time I got masters, I was doing 9 pylon, 9 gate, Korean 4 gate. Which, if you don't know, you just run around spanning pylons in their base, praying that you can warp in their base. And I'm telling you, my Zealot Stalker versus Zealot Stalker micro was godlike. I loved it. I just loved doing that. So I did that for a long time. I had a very clean Blink all-in versus Zerg. That was a 2-base one, and I had a fucking... I don't even remember what I used to do to Terran. Maybe Blink all-ins. It was a while ago. Right now, I kind of suck, and I don't really know what I'm doing. I try to play macro as Terran, and the game is just... The meta game right now is just not something I understand as well as earlier metas. So I'm dipped down to more like 4,200, 43 right now, and the game is just beating my ass. I just lost like an hour's worth of games before we started.
Yeah, I went 0-6 earlier today, and I'm right. I think I went from 44 to 43 today. It was rough.
It's hard, but like, you gotta love it, dude. I love it. I lose, I get mad. I still love it.
Yeah.
You know, this game's fun.
Oh, the reason I originally bring that up is just because we're talking about how rude some of the communities can get. What I want to start doing is getting all the screenshots of the amount of times I've been called some sort of explicit, something horrible. Literally every time I play more than 2 or 3 games, I will have at least one person talk about my sexuality of some sort, make comments about I don't know, just how horrible I am and how they don't value my life very much is what I think is going on. At least 3 times a session, really, it'll happen.
Whoa, that's intense. What build are you doing?
Well, I link flood a lot.
You asshole.
Yeah, I'm an asshole on ladder.
I'm kidding.
No, but I'll literally I'll go against the same guy, and even if they BM me, I'm like, dude, I'm sorry that you had to do that twice. I'm gonna go ahead and not queue up for a couple minutes, so you don't have to keep dealing with my crap, and of course I feel like that's almost egotistical, but it's not. I played Protoss originally. I know what it feels like to just have a hopeless amount of Zerglings in your face, either through Nidus or at your front door. Just it's horrible. So I feel for the community, and I'm like, just so you don't quit StarCraft, I'm gonna not play you for a bit.
I got a screenshots folder of some particularly funny BM moments. I'll probably post it at some point.
Yeah, I would. That's one thing I would love to see is just like a BM montage.
Obviously, no one likes it when they get real personal and they try and personally attack you. Like, people go very out of their way to try and hurt you because they're hurting at the loss. It's just what people do.
Yeah.
But sometimes I get BM and I love it. Like, it makes me so happy. I think it's the funniest shit that this guy's so pissed off that I got the cannon rush off or whatever. It's hilarious, dude. Yeah. The game, everything about the game makes me so happy and just makes me laugh so much. God,
it really is the best game in the world, isn't it?
You're not gonna get any arguments from me on that.
So do you play any other video games besides outside the Blizzard universe? Is there anything that really
Of course. I have maybe... There's some games throughout my gaming career that have really impressed me. Some of them it's just because I was young. It's the first time I saw it. And that's going to be I don't know. I'm just going top 5, 6 games. So Mario 64. Okay. Ocarina of Time. Those 2 big classics. Final Fantasy 7. So obviously you can sort of tell how old I was and how old I am and when I grew up with these games. Brood War, of course. But more recently, I've come to Rocket League. I don't know if you ever played Super Meat Boy.
Yeah.
And I got a couple more. Hotline Miami. And Nier Automata, or however you pronounce that one. So every one of these games, I could talk for a long time about why they are fucking incredible and what they did to the gaming industry, because I think they all really put a big have had a huge impact on the entire industry, and they're just fucking amazing games that everyone should try. But those are it. Those are the games I like.
Do you mind if I ask how old you are?
I'm 28.
28. Okay, yeah. So we're in the same ballpark. So I was about to say you're really hitting my exact generation there. So yeah.
Lately, I've been playing Enter the Gungeon.
Okay. I actually I think I had that on. No, never mind. I'm thinking of something else. Never mind. I've never played that.
It's a bullet hell game.
Okay. All right. Okay, you have answered so many of these questions that I had, which is good. This has been phenomenal. Thank you. So, okay. So I'm going to ask you a really broad question that I either is going to have, a phenomenal answer, or you're going to be like, that's a stupid question, Duddles. Why? Okay. So, but whenever this is going back to way earlier, with what you were talking about, whenever you're thinking like, whenever you're making content, what are people going to like? What are people going to think are funny? What type of shows besides just the raw, like, I'm streaming myself play Starcraft, or I am, I'm casting a tournament of Starcraft. What type of like video game based shows do you think work, or do you think are good ideas you'd like to see more of?
In the StarCraft 2 space, or just in general?
It can be either.
Well, I think they're two very different answers.
Okay, well, let's go StarCraft 2 then.
Well, if you haven't noticed, the StarCraft 2 space is entirely dominated by ladder or someone casting a game.
Right.
Arcade, sometimes Winter will play the odd arcade game, and sort of his audience is very unique compared to the rest of the Twitch viewing audience, in my opinion. Maybe Loco too, but those two guys have a very strong draw for casual, not so competitive, or maybe they are interested in competitive, but they're not too good, etc. So if it's not ladder, and it's not good ladder, if you suck, it's not going to work. If you're playing 2v2, good luck. Probably not going to get as much interest. In general, the game is just so bent on esports and 1v1, and nothing wrong with that, but It's not what I grew up with playing Brood War. When I bought SC2, I wasn't thinking about any of that, and I wasn't wanting to do any of that. I wanted to play Tower D. I wanted to make Tower D. I wanted to do... They promised a way to monetize your map making before the game release. You still can't do that.
What do you mean? What do you mean by monetize your map making?
You've heard of the premium arcade, right? Sort of a recent announcement.
Yeah.
There's 2 maps on the arcade you can buy for money. Blizzard had promised, or at least, I don't know if promise might be the right word, but they showcased at BlizzCon, I don't know, 2009, that there will be a map marketplace at some point.
Okay.
There's not one. There's the premium arcade, which is amazing. Fucking yes, I'm so happy that happened. But until we hear anything else about it, I'm a little skeptical if there's any future for modders to be able to monetize outside of Kickstarter, Indiegogo, etc. There have been very successful fundraisers for maps, but I don't know, man. I went into the game wanting to do creative stuff, and I turned into a hardcore ladder dude for a couple years. That's all I cared about.
Yeah, can consume you.
And it's fun, man. Shit's so fun. I fucking love ladder and playing people. But what I originally loved when I first got into StarCraft, it was not that.
Right. What was your favorite arcade game?
An arcade in SC2, I'm really not too big about it. I played a bit of Runling Run. Ice Baneling's pretty good. I could tell you maps I think are very, very good, but I don't really play them. Again, Arcstar. The just the polish and like what he did with the StarCraft editor is extremely impressive, to say the least. And in general, the modding community is quite good. Actually, if you jump in the modding Discord, very helpful people. The creators of the top mods hang out and chat, like the guy who made Direct Strike. Taya.
Mm-hmm.
He's chilling there every day answering questions for people that might want help. Like, I really wish the modding scene and the custom game scene was thriving more than it is. But we still have what we do have is amazing still.
Awesome. Yeah, direct strike is really it's relatively simple concept, just a tug of war style. There's it's every single time I press arcade, I get like 15 different tug of war style games, but direct strike is the only one that really.
I think it's been the top game since release, since the game came.
It's good. It's easy. That's my casual go to.
It's quite good.
If I don't feel like laddering, but I want to play Starcraft, but I don't feel like doing campaign, I just don't feel like making units. I can just do that and like sit back, put Netflix on, and lose direct strike, and have my whole team yell at me because I gassed first or something. It's great.
I know that. Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah. All right, so I tried to get some questions outside of everything, but I think the issue with doing this in this community is that it's not a huge community, and everybody in it is very accessible, especially with all the social media.
You think the Starcraft community isn't huge?
Well, I mean, it's big, it's gigantic. But you compare it to like I don't.
Of course,
it's very okay. So I guess it's very intimate is a better way of saying it.
Yeah.
So I can tell hardcore fans. I'll go on Twitter. I'll go on Twitter and it's like somebody will follow me and I'll look at them like, hey, you're obviously a StarCraft person because you follow the same 400 people I also follow. But the thing is, those 400 people, I don't care who it is. Artosis being probably the biggest name in casting. If you go into some other games, those people may not be as like if I tweet at Day9 right now, which I know he came from StarCraft, etc., he may not answer. He might, but I mean, like, he has a ton of people tweeting at him all day. But if somebody actually has a question, for other people, and especially people who I bring on the show, even Falcon Paladin, who has he's one of the highest subs in StarCraft 2 on YouTube. If somebody wants to get a question answered from Falcon Paladin, they're going to get an answer just because they're going to ask him and he's going to say, oh, and answer it almost immediately. But anyway, so that was a bad tangent. But anyway, so on Reddit, I got one guy to ask a question, and it's from Matt. Okay, I'm gonna pronounce it looks like Matt the Baki. Matt.
Yeah. Okay. So I read this question.
Okay.
And I have a very specific answer to this question. So first of all, Matthew, he saw. I don't know if you've seen. Let's back up a bit. I made a camera mod which unlocks the camera. You WASD, the camera moves sort of similar to WASD. You can get some very, very interesting looking shots of the game that are not capable with the stock camera. It had, in my opinion, potential for observing. When I released it, Funka hit me up like, damn, this shit is amazing, keep going. So did some other people you see on WCS broadcasts, but the fact that observers, the official WCS observers, are hitting me up like, dude, this is sick, really was motivating. I didn't think it was that cool, but they did, and I developed it further. So now in this camera mod, you can save camera positions and sort of queue up transitions, basically making it a bit of a cinematic editor. Like, you can tell the camera where to move and when and how much to do this and that and the other.
Wow.
The only thing it's missing is being able to do units. Like, people want to put units down and have those units do certain things that line up with the camera, and that's its own job to do.
Okay.
That's not in there, so it's limited, but it's also pretty powerful. And I've never really properly made I wanted to make a video sort of showcasing that. I never quite finished it. But back to Matthew. Matthew saw some posts about this camera, and he sent me $200 as a donation to buy some hardware, like a 3D mouse to maybe play with hardware. A VR company hit me up privately. They messaged me privately and said, hey man, that camera shit's pretty cool. You want to talk? Can we get you maybe to demo our software? Like, people were really excited about this. It hasn't really gone anywhere. I I have done a bit of extra development for SE2HL to be able to use it more fluidly when they make content. If you check out SE2HL, you will see some of the camera mod in action. I just saw a post the other week that used it.
Wow.
Loco, I thought Loco used it for his thumbnails, but it turns out there's another camera mod with the same exact name that was put up, and I have a suspicion he might be using that one. Anyway, the bottom line is content creators have a lot to gain from playing with these camera mods or jumping in the editor and playing with the camera themselves. There's a ton of potential there. And maybe it's not suitable for WCS broadcasts. There's stuff I'd like to say that Blizzard staff has told me, but I don't think it's okay to repeat. But they didn't seem as enthusiastic as I had hoped. So because the response from Blizzard was a bit timid or tepid, I don't forget the word for that, but they didn't really care as much as I hoped. So I kind of lost motivation. And Matthew, if you're listening, dude, I feel really bad that you donated so much money for this project and it's never been finished. And I would gladly refund you or something, because like that's a lot of money to donate, and I I really appreciate anything I can get from anyone. It's obviously the highest form of praise or the best kind of support you can get, it of course. So Matt, just know I never really forgot about how much you supported me, and I'm very grateful. And if you feel like you've been wronged or cheated, hit me up. Talk.
Cool.
So that answers Matt's question.
Right. Cool. So I'm mostly. Oh well, I'll throw a curveball in. But so I know I met you in Austin at WCS Austin. Not, was it last year? I feel like it was maybe last year. Yeah, it feels like last year.
I went every time except now they don't do it.
Right, except this year, which I didn't go either, unfortunately, because it was in Ukraine instead. I couldn't drive there in 2.5 hours. But so how many events have you gone to?
Fuck, I wish I could show you. I have a big, hold on. Let me, 2 seconds. I have a huge thing of lanyards. Let me just, 2 seconds. I think it's right here. I'm going to be right back.
All right, I'm going to put your Twitter up again just because that's one of my favorite things. Dares, I met you too. I met both. I met you both in the same bar.
All right. I just moved. I've been to at least 15, I want to say.
Wow.
I've been to BlizzCon 4 times. There's something I gotta say about Blizzard. No one has supported me. No one has supported me like Blizzard. If it wasn't for Blizzard and their graciousness towards me, I'd probably have lost my motivation. They have been amazing. They've treated me very kindly. They've let me attend the summit, which is obviously an honor for plenty of reasons. And David Kim even came up to me and said, "Hey, dude, I like some of the thing you put up." And I was like, "You know who I am?" It was like I couldn't believe it. So Blizzard, as much as I was sort of knocking the game industry and how hard it can be to work in it a little bit earlier, Blizzard's fucking incredible, dude. Their people are incredible. It's very scary what we're hearing about what's going on in that company lately, because I know these people are amazing and they're having to leave. It scares me, dude. But the bottom line is, like, they have been so damn good to me, and I am so grateful. Of course I'm grateful for Reddit and Twitter and all the people, because Reddit has really been supportive of me too, which is kind of a weird thing to say, because, like, who's Reddit? It's a big fucking mess of 200,000 people, right?
Right.
But I can't say it enough just how blown away and just motivated and inspired by the response I get from people, and of course especially Blizzard, who they're very attentive, man. Blizzard people are like, we're seeing a lot of posts lately about Blizzard. Where the fuck's the balance patch? Blizzard, patch it. Blizzard, do this. Blizzard, do that. They read every one of them. They read it all, and I promise you, they're talking about it. I know they are.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fun. It's fun to shit on Blizzard, and there's plenty of memes and stuff. But like, they're not idiots, and they're great people.
Right.
I don't know what else to say.
I mean, with balance, that's people think there's such a simple answer for these things, and it never is. It's probably the most complicated problem they've ever had, and to, I don't know, I feel like it's some people just disrespect because they don't even realize they're being disrespectful, but other people are just being blatantly malicious in a way that's like, you guys have no idea what you're talking about, like.
It's a complicated topic, but
right.
In general, people need to know that Blizzard is very attentive and they read everything.
Mm-hmm. It's the best gaming company there ever was, man. Before we sort of balance discussion and chat, which I don't think will happen, but just in case, what kind of music do you listen to? What are your if you say everything, I'm just gonna end the stream, but you can say everything. I'm just kidding. But
I hate when people do that. Don't you hate that?
Yeah,
I like everything. Shut up.
It's like, cool, man. So anyway, we're gonna listen to Pig Destroyer. I'm just gonna see if you like that.
So I could give you a pretty thorough answer. Growing up, I was a big metalhead. I tried to learn how to play guitar, and I listened to sort of like death metal and like technical shred metal stuff, and I tried to be in a band with my friends, the typical high school music stuff. But I grew up a little bit, and actually, so I talked about Hotline Miami, right? That's a game. It's an indie game, and the soundtrack to Hotline Miami completely altered my taste in music. So there's a new subgenre of electronic music. It's called synthwave. It might be called retro wave or something. Outrun is another term you see, and this is the best goddamn music genre. I'm completely obsessed since I played Hotline Miami, which was about 2015. So for the past 4 years, I've been listening to damn near nothing but synthwave. Obviously, the lo-fi hip-hop beats to study and relax to. That's some good shit too. Mm-hmm. Go Google synthwave mix, something on YouTube. You're bound to find some quality stuff, in my opinion.
Right on.
What do you listen to, man?
God, punk rock. Just a lot.
You a rocker? I see your profile picture has a guitar.
Yeah. That's pretty much all I mean, I listen to a very broad amount of other things too. But just like, there's a band called Propagandhi, just changed my life. Intricate. It's like if Rush was like a metal punk band instead of just kind of being like slightly metal, it's like that, but I don't know, it's way angrier, and I don't know, I feel like I'm always like pretty meek guy in real life, but then it's like you see me on stage playing in a show and I'm playing like this like borderline heavy metal punk band, and people are just like, who the hell are you? It's flip that switch. While
we're at it, real quick, if anyone's listening, please Google like Tokyo Rose, a good synth wave artist, Mega Drive, a good artist, and for the lo-fi stuff, you just beats to study and relax to, man. That's all you need.
Right on. Speaking of people in chat, I totally forgot. So Coast was saying, Coast asked, are you going to Montreal this year?
Do you know when it is?
I have no idea. I feel like
I want to. I just fucking scheduled a week off of work just because I need to use my vacation days or they're gonna expire. Mm-hmm. I'll go look up the date because there's a very real chance I could go, and I'd love to, man. That's the one WCS stop I never really got to go to.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not really true, but yeah, I heard Montreal is one of the best stops. It traditionally has been in the past, and yeah, I'd love to go, but I can't say really without figuring out, some logistics stuff.
So September 6th to 8th is when it is. So yeah, it's coming up.
Holy, oh, you know what? I'm gonna talk to my employer. We're gonna see about that.
Right on. Well, I cannot. I wish I could see you there, but there's no way in hell. I'm already like negative vacation days at my job, but let's see. And also, another question for you. Do you have any interests or hobbies outside of gaming?
Outside of gaming?
Yeah.
Well, they're all related to creative stuff. I obviously like web development. I like UI development, like front end web development is more what I think I'm good at, but I like full stack. I like back end too. So web development. Yeah, well, web development's fucking amazing. It's very cool. It's very fun. It's changing very fast, so it's hard to keep up. That's one thing I enjoy. I made a website for my employer this year, so that was cool. Besides that, I got a guitar. I don't know if you can see it leaning up way in the back there, but I tried to learn guitar when I was young. I can play kind of poorly, but play enough to have fun. I like the Adobe products. Like obviously I like video editing. I like After Effects. I like Photoshop. You can do some pretty amazing things with this software, so that's good stuff. I'm trying to think where else I spend my time. I got a Nintendo Switch for Smash. I'm putting a little time into that just because I grew up playing Smash. I don't know, man. If it's something you can make and use a computer to help make it, I'm probably into it. There's a program called FL Studio. You can make beats, and a lot of hip hop producers are into that. That's fun to play with. Yeah, Fruit Loops. I'm just looking down at my my thing here. I don't know, dude. A lot of my time at work is spent in like MS Office and crap like that. It's not very interesting. As far as like going outside and being active and doing things that are completely detached from the computer, I like when I was really young, I liked to skateboard. Been a bit too long to say I'm still into that. Basketball.
Really?
It's kind of, yeah. I'm a shit player, but I love it. Love the game.
It's a lot of fun to play.
Yeah.
I can never. God, I'm so out of shape. If I like look at a basketball, I start sweating, and I'm like, "Give me a second, guys. I gotta take a break."
Also, racquetball, a little more obscure, but racquetball's a fucking blast.
There you go. Man, where do you live? What general area? I know if you don't want to disclose.
So I moved around a fair bit, but from 2005 to 2016, 17, Los Angeles. So I feel like I'm from Los Angeles.
Okay.
I just moved to Pennsylvania this year. I moved to Westchester, which is like, if you ever watch Jackass, all of the Bam Margera shit is all filmed in Westchester.
Okay.
That's how people know this place, because of Bam Margera. And then, I don't know, it's cool. Shit rains a lot here. We get some snow. It's not like LA at all in terms of weather. The freeways suck. I got good roommates, and it's actually kind of a trip because I would not be living here if someone wasn't a fan of my videos on YouTube and hit me up to come work for him. That's how I got here.
Wow.
So I know it's not as glamorous. It's not as glamorous as these pro gamers, full-time gaming. They game to make money, but my gaming shit, my gaming videos, my work in gaming got me where I am right now, working in a pretty cozy IT job. Like I said, I made them a website. I get to do computer shit for a job now. That's all I ever wanted growing up.
It's a dream, man. That is the dream. What kind of languages do you use for like the web development stuff? I mean, besides like the your CSS, HTML, JavaScript kind of stuff, or like is there a specific JavaScript flavor that you're
well, this is a little embarrassing, but I'll tell you. The administrator of a website called staredit.net taught me PHP when I was about 13 years old.
Hey, it's a good one to know, but
listen, when that was out, when I was browsing staredit.net in 2003 or whatever, PHP was some hot shit, man. And that's when fucking Zuckerberg's writing his shit, Facebook and PHP. Right. That was the same. That was the era for that stuff. So my skills come from that era. Basically, the administrator of a Brood War fan site would hit me up and teach me web programming. And so ever since then, I kind of like, I do it here and there, but I started taking it more seriously once I realized I could use it for money. And right. So I did a little freelancing, and I've started to, I want to start getting caught up with modern frameworks like Vue, whatever, React and all that, Node. But I'm still stuck using fucking jQuery, man. I'm using jQuery and old school web development. I write a lot of it by hand, almost all of it.
I'm using Adobe Cold Fusion and jQuery at work. You know, I
We can't now jQuery. jQuery is still sick. It's just not needed anymore.
Right, yeah, it's just like, I mean, I get yelled at by people when I talk about jQuery, and they're like, why would you use, like, React is so much better, blah blah blah, and I'm like,
Yeah, exactly.
You're right, man, but like jQuery is super easy.
Exactly.
It's like it was easy to, it took me 20 minutes to learn the whole damn language, you know. It's like,
Yeah.
it's great.
If anyone's not a web developer, jQuery is just it's a bunch of JavaScript code that helps you write other JavaScript code a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
And it was back when browser shit didn't really work all the same. Like, you would load something up in Internet Explorer, look something like this. You load it up, and Firefox looks completely fucked. So like, jQuery was sort of a tool to help that. Web development's really changed so much.
Yeah, I think Vue is the real winner right now. Except it's just one dude working on it who used to work at Angular. I don't know. This is a whole different tangent. I could talk to you about this for a couple hours, but that's probably not what the viewership here is really like. Man, I hope they talk about jQuery and Vue. Woo!
I tried to learn iOS programming for Apple's phones and Apple devices, and I'm very much just dipping my toes into that. But I want to do that too because, you know, hot place. It's here to stay. That's just here to stay.
Native script. Check that out. Because you can do it. You write it all in JavaScript, and then it just kind of like translates it out to Java for Android, and then for iOS, you know, it does that. I think look at Objective C or Swift or whatever. It just like parses it out automatically, and it'll even put it in stores and stuff for you. But you write it in like Vue or React or whatever. There's like whatever JavaScript library you want to use. It will just take how you write. You write a web application essentially, but with XML instead of HTML, and you got it. So you really only need XML.
A lot of the Starcraft, bringing it back to the game, a lot of the Starcraft engine uses XML for damn near everything.
God, sucks.
Not only that, but the Starcraft also has its own programming language. So, yes, it's called Galaxy. It's based on C. Yes. And so when you write maps, when you write your code for your maps, you are writing a custom programming language made by Blizzard called Galaxy. I could show you what it looks like. It looks not great. It has some really rough things to deal with, in my opinion. Like, you can't pass an array as a parameter and some other really, really difficult things. But I don't want to talk about programming too much because I feel like I'm going to scare people off.
Right. I know exactly what they're talking about. Everything. Yeah, yeah, we're already doing it. Well, honestly, I'm kind of just riffing right now. I all my questions that I had, you've already knocked out of the park, man. And I don't want to. It's already been such a great interview. You're phenomenal.
Thanks.
I'm really thank you so much for taking the time to do this with me, and then the patience you've had with getting this scheduled. I know my schedule isn't exactly wide open, and you worked with me a lot, and I really appreciate that.
It's fine. I understand it.
Well, thank you. Well, dude, it's just so good to talk to you. This has been great. I feel like if we didn't live across the country, we probably would have been good friends growing up.
Oh yeah, likewise. It's my pleasure, man. Of course I love to talk about myself, and I am truly very excited for the things I have coming out for the fans or whatever, the Starcraft community, Starcraft fans, I meant. And it's just not ready, and until it is, I feel bad. I've been out of the picture for a lot this year. I had a lot going on this year. I moved into my own apartment. I moved across the country. I drove across the country by myself to start a whole new life. And just know that I'm never gonna quit, dude. I don't really like making content for other games. I don't really like other games like I like this game. And it could all fucking blow up. Like, we could lose WCS. I can't even think of the worst thing that could happen, but let's say it happened, I'd still be wanting to be involved. It's just what I like doing. I don't know how else to put it.
Do you think obviously a lot of pro gamers probably wouldn't stick around, but do you think, like channels like Base Trade, Wardy, and some of the, and even some of the professional, like In Control and some other guys, they would probably come up with their own thing. Do you think that it would really Do you think that what happened to Heroes of the Storm would happen to us the same way? I feel like it wouldn't be as
I don't
drastic.
fucking think so. I don't think it'll happen that way.
Yeah.
They got a ton of bad PR for that.
Right. Which, I don't think they would do it, but if they were, I just don't think the community would really let the game just fizz away and die like that.
No, of course not. Not to say it wouldn't be fucking tragic. It would be horrible.
Right.
Like, I don't even want to think about it. Just like, I don't want to think about it. It'd be awful. But I don't think they're gonna do a Heroes to StarCraft 2. I am so certain of that. At least not soon. Like I feel like if anything's gonna happen in StarCraft 2, they're gonna communicate better because they communicated like shit to Heroes, and I think they learned from that. I would hope so.
Yeah. There's a lot of negative things around that I also probably don't even want to go into. But yeah, man. Well, dude, again, super awesome to have you. I'm probably gonna cut it off here. Unless do you have anything else you want to plug or anything you want to talk about?
No, I just want to say thank you. Anyone who's watching, I'm not going to chat. I have no idea what the stream is looking like right now, but God bless you guys. I could not be so interested in this without the friends that I have or the support I get from random people. It's really not. It just kind of all happened. Like it kind of fell into my lap. I didn't go into Reddit thinking, dude, I'm gonna be someone or anything. Like, I just like doing this, and I feel like I've been around so long that I sort of understand the mentality of StarCraft fans. So
awesome, man. Well, we appreciate having you. I can't reiterate that enough. The whole community absolutely loves you, dude.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I know I rambled a lot tonight. Had maybe a drink or two before we started.
Who would do that before an interview? It's ridiculous.
Forgive me if I kind of rambled. I know you would ask something and I kind of went off on a tangent, but just, dude, I care a lot about everything I'm doing, and I don't think I'm going to stop caring.
Oh, dude, you were probably the easiest interview I've ever had, man. You're great.
Thanks.
I didn't even need to ask questions. It wasn't even rambling. It was all on topic. It was phenomenal. But yeah, I'm going to cut it off. Let's go ahead and see who we can host. I think we got a host earlier. For a minute. Oh, it was an auto host for a minute. We had 164 people in here for 2 seconds, and I was like, "What? When did that happen?"
That's nice.
Yeah, thanks. But anyway, let me go ahead and see who I can host. Who's up? And anybody watching YouTube, sorry about this part.
Follow me on Twitter.
Yes, please follow this dude on Twitter. Whoa, that's
my Twitter is nice _ username. My YouTube channel, it's a nice YT channel. That's kind of it. Those are the 2 places I'm going to be putting shit up. So if you're at all interested, even a little bit, that's where to go.
Please. It's like my favorite thing in the world whenever you tweet. Man, there's nobody that I want to host right now that could use it. I guess Neuro?
WCS hosted a winter rerun today.
Did they?
Yeah, and then 5 seconds later, they're like, oh shit, and then they hosted Jon Snow. Yeah. But it's too late. Winter's rerun had 5K viewers, and Jon Snow got 500.
Oh, that's awful. That poor Jon Snow.
I found it pretty humorous. Shit happens.
All right. Well, we are gonna go. 1 second. Actually, I'm checking 2 more seconds, guys. Stick around for just 1 second. Actually, I'm gonna kill the stream. So thank you all so much. Please stick around for the host, and thank you all so much for watching. Anybody on YouTube, make sure to follow this guy on Twitter, and thank you all so much for stopping by. Y'all have a good one.
Thanks, guys.